since we don't actually have to achieve anything to feel positive, you can feel happy right now. All you have to... Alright, hey you. Welcome. Pretty much all we want are feelings. We want to feel successful. We want to feel happy, content. And for so long I've been really linear and like put off happiness until I had this or had that. Or I've just straight up not been moving towards anything. So the pleasures that I had to use... So the sun is like just coming around the corner and beaming me. So the pleasures I would have to use was like smoking weed and binge eating, getting in trouble with my friends. So we're going to talk about direction and a new definition for success that you can use to have that winning feeling right now. You don't need to achieve anything. You're already enough. You're already worth enough to feel happy right now. You should. When I haven't been feeling those things, when I haven't been feeling the best about myself, it's been because I've not felt successful. I'm not sure how you define it, but success to me used to be like achievements. It used to be achieving a certain thing. So I do a lot of rock climbing, and I would put off my happiness until I'd achieved the climb. This is like a pretty easy example for me to use, but I'd be like frustrated with myself, or I'd not feel good enough until I had finally done the whole route in one, got all the way to the top, and then I'd let myself be happy for a day or whatever, and then there'd be another climb. This is so wrong. That's so wrong. Like, you hear all about these successful people that have like made it and they're depressed. They're not happy. That boxer, what's his name? Tyson Fury? Let's look it up. Yeah, Tyson Fury. You may have even seen the videos about him like reaching what he thought was his success and not being happy, and he talks about billionaires he knows are not happy and all these things. And I remember with achievements like getting my car, I thought, oh, once I've got my car, I'll be happy. It's like materialism. So this new definition of success came from Earl Nightingale, who you might have heard of. He's an American author. He spoke and he has great recordings all about like personal development, basically, and human psychology and all that stuff. And he says success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. The progressive realization. That's pretty much going towards something. He doesn't actually mention like achieving, it's going towards, going in a direction. The progressive realization of a worthy ideal. So worthy, something you think is valuable, something valuable to you. So back in the start of lockdown, I was making t-shirts on Teespring and like trying to make passive money through those t-shirts, and that was like my primary goal, was like money. But it wasn't really a worthy goal because I was like 17, so there were much more important things in my life that that were more worthy of my time, basically. And I'm not sure how like spiritual you are, but looking back, I'm thinking, oh yeah, there were like much bigger issues I needed to fix before I needed money, before I needed financial independence. And actually money then, and even now I'd say, would probably make the issues I have worse. So that's why they didn't work, I believe. And ideal is basically just something that you think would be better, like a better circumstance. So maybe that does look like more time, more freedom. And whilst we're going on this ramble, what I thought I wanted from money, what I thought money represented to me, like freedom from people's opinions. Now I think back, it was like, oh, I wanted to be rich, I wanted to have fuck you money, like, so I wouldn't have to care about what people think about me, I wouldn't have to feel judgments. But money wouldn't have given me that, it would have exacerbated it. I need to be free from judgment before I can have the money. If your like schemes or ventures aren't working, it's probably a good reason. Like, what is your why? Some of the first ways I tried to make money were based from fear, like this insecurity. I thought money would fix it, but it won't. You need to fix it and then you can have your money. But we're getting a little bit off track. So, the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. It doesn't say anything about actually achieving. I've noticed this in my climbing now too. I don't actually have to complete it to feel good about it. You just have to be making progress. You just have to be going in a direction, which is why I'm a big advocate of direction, about pointing towards something, about moving. Jordan Peterson, he's a clinical psychologist, and he is definitely an authority on this. He kind of validates what I felt, which is the positive emotion that people feel is not associated with the accomplishment of goal. What I'm saying about getting my car and then being like, oh, it's not actually that cool. All the positive emotion was when I was striving to get the car. That's why when people make it, they're sad. It is associated with the pursuit of a goal. Also, I just heard from Huberman Labs, dopamine it's your reward system, but you're not actually supposed to be rewarded for achieving. Dopamine is supposed to be released when you're moving toward, when you're striving, when you're struggling and overcoming things. Your body is giving you dopamine because it's growth. Your body knows that this is growth. You're bettering yourself, and that is why you feel good. He also says it implies the higher and more elevated the goal, the more emotional power there is in the realization that you're moving towards it. So that's why I believe in having a North Star, that like dream. You need to acknowledge your dream, I would say. For a while, I was too scared to acknowledge mine because then I would know, then it would be real, and the possibility of failing would also become real. That's another thing Jordan Peterson says, like, if you stay vague about your goals, is so you don't know when you fail. But this also means you don't get the positive emotion. Since we don't actually have to achieve anything to feel positive, you can feel happy right now. All you have to do is decide a direction to go in and start moving toward it. Even if, you know, when you make plans, so New Year's happens and you're like, oh yeah, I want to get fit, I want to get massive. And that day you take some action and you feel amazing. You've not actually changed anything really. I know part of that is because you're like imagining how amazing it's going to be in the future. But nothing has actually changed. You've just taken a little bit of action and you feel great. That's why now I consider myself successful and I'm happy and content regardless of my physical reality not reflecting like abundance and success. Like I've got a lot of great things in my life. I've got direction, and I have beautiful interactions with people. But you can see, like, no, you know, I don't have loads of money. I'm still getting like bitched around at work. I still am working, and there are issues in my life. I've not achieved exactly, you know, I've not peaked, but I'm happy, I'm content. And this is something I want you to experience. So, direction. And by the way, so for those of you who don't know what your dream is, or you don't know what direction you want to go in, I want you to just begin. Like, just think about what you might like and then start heading there. It's not a linear thing. No one actually knows where they're going. This quote, I remember distinctly, it was a couple years ago I heard it. Someone was talking about, no one actually knows where they're going, everyone's pretending. Like, adults aren't adults, they don't know either. No one actually knows. Everyone's pretending. And it fucking helped me so much, because it meant that I could, like, pick up and drop ideals. I wasn't intimidated into, like, oh, like, okay, he's talking about your dream, like, oh, what is my one, you know, what's my one great thing? And then you'll be paralyzed because it isn't clear yet. Even this last job I've been working, I've gone through like 3 ideals of what my ultimate is. I've had one constant, but then when I started, so I'll take you through the whole thing, even before this job. So I was just a personal climber at school, and I thought, oh yeah, maybe I'd like to be a coach. My dad had aspirations of being a coach, and I looked up to the coaches that I was interacting with climbing. So I was like, yeah, maybe I want to be a coach. And then just recently I've gone, but I don't really like want to tell people what to do. I just want them to find their own path and their own truth. So maybe I just want to be an instructor. And then now I'm thinking, okay, maybe it's something a bit in the middle, like, that will work with my strengths. You don't have to know what it is. My sister, she's so concerned. She tells me, like, she doesn't know what it is. She doesn't have a direction like me. But it doesn't matter. No one really does. I still don't know. Like, next year, my whole ideal could just get rocked. Like, I could just discover, oh, this is actually not satisfying. I want you to think of a boat or a missile. This is how your brain works. So it's called Psycho-Cybernetics. It's a great book. I've got it here. Psycho-Cybernetics. It says in this book, you need to you first need to go forwards. So I'm going to go this way, and then I'll realise, that's not the direction I want to go in. I want to go this way. So you correct and you go that way a bit. And over time, maybe this is actually where you want to be, and over time you'll get there. But it's not linear. You're dancing. You're just slowly working your way there, because no one fucking knows. No one knows what's in the future. You don't know how you'll feel when you get there. So just start moving and you'll feel great. If you want some private coaching, I'll leave the link in the description. We can have a call and we'll get some things sorted out for you. In the meantime though, have a good one, and today, take some action. If you're not already, take some action. Even, to be fair, the fact that you're watching these videos, it shows you have a desire to be better. So you're already on the right path. Even right now, if you feel like a failure, you're moving in the right direction. So keep going, okay?